welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Hailie and today I am doing a massive book unhaul. I actually just saw Alexa Ray post her book unhaul and it inspired me to go through my own books and kind of weed out the ones that I could live without. I actually have this ginormous stack of books. Some of them I am letting go because I did not like them. Some of them I haven't even read. They've just been on my bookshelf and I know that I'm not going to read them. Others I have like additional copies of, or they're just like really worn in and I just don't really like displaying them. So I'm gonna go through each of these and tell you why I am unhauling them, and then I'm going to list a few of them to my Pango Books. Pango Books is where I sell all of my basically new excellent condition books. It's kind of similar to like the Mercari platform, but it's only books. It's really cool. I get a lot of really good deals on that app, and I actually just got a coupon code that you can use for $5 off your purchase if you're a first-time Pango Books buyer. Then with the rest of the books, I will either give them away to like a friend or family member or donate them either to like those little, you see those little neighborhood little libraries? I want one of those so badly at my house, but there are a ton in my area and I would love to put a few of these in those. And then the ones that are just not in great condition, I'm just going to donate. So just spreading the book love everywhere I go. Anyways, I actually have a ton of books to get through. I think 22 books. So I'm just going to hop right in. P.S. Drink of the day, Kim-Aid. So the first book that I am unhauling is actually Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is a very worn in copy. I have let everybody borrow this book and it has been very well loved. I don't really read a ton of Colleen Hoover books anymore, but I do still have like my collection of the ones that I did enjoy, and I actually did like Verity. I know there's a ton of mixed thoughts and feelings as with any Colleen Hoover book, but I thought this one was like a fun quick read. I do have this in the hardcover copy with the additional chapter, and that one is in way better condition, so I'm keeping that one, unhauling this one. Next up I have Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekolvak. This is another book that I actually did enjoy and I would recommend for spooky season because the photos in here, they really creeped me out. I like that you actually get the drawings within the story. Kind of just helps form that picture in your head. This was another fun read. I kind of flew through this one and it has like a crazy twist ending. So this is one that I do recommend, but I don't want to keep it because again, it's a little bit used and abused. I let many people borrow it and it's just, it's not in good shape. I hate when the spines have like that crack in them. Ugh. So I think it's time I just pass this one along. Next up I have Two from Sarah Pinborough. This one I did enjoy. Another crazy twist ending. This one is Behind Her Eyes and the other one is Cross Her Heart. This one was one of the worst books. I hated this book. It did not make me feel good reading it. I didn't really like any of the characters. The story was really upsetting to me, and then it just kind of turned me off from Sarah Pinborough as a whole. It's not really anything that I want to hold on to. Sorry, Sarah. The next one that I am unhauling is Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson, and this one I went back and forth with keeping because I really like this cover. If only the story was as interesting as the cover. This story just really fell flat to me, and for some reason this was really hyped up. I don't really get the hype. I felt like this story was pretty boring. It's one of those that's just like, you're just reading about people's lives. There's not really any plot. There really isn't even any spicy drama in here. You're just reading about rich people living. Which, don't get me wrong, I love reading about rich people living their lives, but I do need some scandal. This was not giving me anything. So yeah, kind of sad because this cover is really cute, but honestly, this video is making me a little bit sweaty. Like, I feel like I'm roasting all these authors and I don't want it to come across as like shitting on everyone's work. It just wasn't for me, but that doesn't mean that these books won't be for you or someone else. The next one I have is X's and O's by Amy Leah. Oh my gosh, I love the cover of this one and I loved this book. This is a romance that I will continuously recommend people read. The only reason I'm unhauling this copy is because Amy sent me a copy that was signed. Here's the signed one. It's just so cute and special. So I figure why not pass this one along and let somebody else read it and enjoy it, because this book is seriously super cute. Next up, I have Awkward in October by Teresa. Yeah? I always say her last name with a question mark because I am certain that I am mispronouncing it. This is another one. I really liked this book. It was a very cute, grumpy meets sunshine sort of romance. A little bit along the lines of like forced proximity. And it's perfect for the fall season. Like, I do recommend this book. It was cute, quick, easy to read. But I will say it's not my favorite cover ever, nor is it something that I will reread. So I figured I would just kind of toss it in the mix. Seriously, I was brutal. This is actually on my fall TBR. It's been on my fall TBR since last fall. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. So I'm like, why don't I just donate this one and someone else can enjoy it or maybe hate it. I don't know. I haven't read it. So I just feel like at this point, I'm probably not going to get to it. It's not high on my priority list. So it's just taking up space. 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. This is a big boy. This is another one that's, I bought this one used, so it already came to me super used and well loved. But now it's like especially like it's very yellowed and the spine is cracky. So she's just not gonna cut it. Next up, Little Fires Everywhere, and this one I kind of went back and forth with because I did like this one. The only reason I decided to unhaul it is because it is a little bit older. This one was published like 2017, which isn't old. Definitely have older books on my bookshelf, but for recommendation purposes, I don't think this is one that I would need to like actively recommend to you guys or like include in future videos. I just don't feel like it needs to be here. Next up, I have The Hunting Wives by May Cobb, and this is another one I kind of went back and forth with only because this year I started my book club. This is one of the books that we read for our August read. Literally none of us liked this book. It was not a good book. It just wasn't. But I kind of thought about holding on to it and just kind of having like a stack on my shelf of all the books that we read in book club. I'm a very sentimental person and I feel like that would be cute, but ultimately this just has no place on my shelf, girl. I didn't like this book at all. So yeah, there goes the sentimental book stack pile. At the end of the day, I just didn't enjoy it and I don't really want to hold on to it. But hey, join my book club because normally they are not terrible. Next up, I have these two, both of which were sent to me from Book of the Month. But, okay, so this is Circus Train by Amita Parrott and Queen of Thieves by B.Z. Marsh. Both of them are historical fictions, which sometimes I enjoy, but I feel like I'm really not a historical fiction girly. It really, really depends. Like Evelyn Hugo vibes, I'm all there. These, not really for me. So I actually haven't read either one of these. I instead gave them to my mom to read and she was like, they didn't really do it for me. And that was enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm probably good on those. Queen of Thieves is like post World War II in London, and The Circus Train is also in war, 1938, World War II again. So it's just not really my vibes. Nothing that I see myself reading in the near future. Some of you are going to come for my neck with this next one, but I think it's time. I tried so hard to get into this, but I cannot do it. And every time I go to pick it up to try to finish it out, it's just like, I'm not excited about it. And I feel like I shouldn't read something that I'm not excited about. So these two will be going to a little neighborhood library near me so that somebody else can enjoy them. I just really cannot get into it. I'm not a fantasy person. I can't really keep up with all of like the world building and like the names of the the creatures. It just didn't work out for me. This next one is another one that I have not read. This is Hostage by Claire McIntosh. And I've come to this point in my life where I realize that I cannot read like plane crash books. Like there are certain things that I just cannot stomach, and this is one of them. I'm already a nervous flyer. I don't need any more of this in my head when I am on a plane. So it's gonna be a pass for me. Next, I have Boy Parts by Eliza Clark, and I actually really like the cover of this book, but I don't know if it's one that I just felt like indifferent about this book. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was funny. It was fine. It is one that I will send on its way. This one from Otessa Moshfegh, Death in Her Hands, I picked up from Book People on sale, and I really liked her other book, My Year of Rest and Relaxation. So I wanted to read more from her, and I grabbed this one. I did not realize it says in large print that it is large print, but I definitely did not realize, like, good lord. Overall, I did not like this book at all. Like, it just, it was boring, it was really slow and hard to get through. And then the large print on top of it all, no. Then I have Witch Please by Anne Aguirre, and this one is actually signed, but it's one of those where it has like the sticker with her signature. Those are never as exciting to me. So I actually got this one from Half Price Books when I picked it up last year. And it was like a cute witchy read. It takes a little bit to kind of get into it, but it's fun for the season. But out of all like the seasonal witchy books that I've read and have, this is not in my top. So she's going back where she came from. Next up, I have 99% Mine by Sally Thorne, and I bought this in just like a big book buying haul. What's new? But I also bought this before I read The Hating Game, also by Sally Thorne, and I hated that book. I just didn't really like vibe with her writing overall. I did not like the characters of that book, and so same thing with what happened with Sarah Pinborough. It just kind of turned me off from the author as a whole. So I don't see myself reading this one, and I figure why hold on to things if I'm not excited about it or planning to read it soon in the near future. Then I have The Existence of Amy by Lana Grace Riva. And this book is entirely about the main character's mental illness and what it looks like to live with it. So there's a lot of this book that I did connect to on a very personal level. We have a little friend here, probably for just a moment, because I can't imagine that this is very comfortable. But back to The Existence of Amy, I just didn't really love the author's writing style overall. Like there's a lot of like grammatical errors in here. The author's voice, it just wasn't my favorite overall, but I did enjoy getting into Amy's head. All right, now he's just licking my leg. I only have 2 more. Can you hold on for 2 more books? This one is That Summer by Jennifer Weiner. I actually like this book. And overall, I do feel like I enjoy this author, like as a whole. This one just wasn't a favorite of mine. It's not like in my top book. So I don't think it's one that I would like throw in a book recommendation video or anything. It's just okay. And that's it. Last one. He can't handle it. New Animal by Ella Baxter. And this is one that I like held on for so long, because I did kind of annotate it, and I don't really know what to do with books after I like write in them. I don't really want to donate them or give them away. It feels like oddly personal. I don't know. But this was a really interesting read. It has really good quotes in here, and I like this one. I think I gave this one 4 stars overall, but I think that this one is like a very specific book that I would recommend to like a very specific person. And it's definitely not one that I would like reread. So I figured, why not just toss it in the UNHAUL pile? So that wraps up my brutal book unhauling. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you again to Alexa Ray for inspiring this video. Let me know your thoughts on any of the books that I have decided to pass on to a new life. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!